Joseph Delaney, the author of the Wardstone Chronicals, also known as the Spooks series, or if you're American, known as the Last Apprentice series, was born in a town called Preston. Now that's in Lancashire. He uses the fact that he's from Lancashire a lot for his inspirations, with most of the places in his books actually existing. I've decided to make a series where I go and I have a look at some of these places because I'm lucky enough to live in Lancashire as well, so that I can share with you what it is, and I will also be looking at the local mythology to see if what he's done has actually got any basis on stories from the past of that area. Today's subject is in the form of the Sengati, or the Little People. They were in the Spooks Curse, or the Last Apprentice Curse to the Bane, depending on which region you are from. They resided in a chapel in Heysham. Now, I'm pretty sure that I managed to track down that chapel, and later on I will be having footage of what it is actually like there. First of all, what does the book say about the Sengati, though? As I said earlier, they are known as the Little People. They had a king called Hayes, and King Hayes, conveniently enough, was a seventh son, and he himself had 7 sons, so his youngest son, Nays, was a seventh son of a seventh son, hence able to see the dark and fight the dark, like the Spooks can. The Bane demanded a yearly tribute from King Hayes, making him sacrifice each of his 7 sons each year. After the 6th son, though, Hayes died of a broken heart. Nays was able to outsmart the Bane and trap him below Priest Town, and then got killed for his troubles, and the whole lot of them, King Hayes, Nays, and the other 6 sons of King Hayes, were all buried in Heysham by a chapel. In the Spooks Curse, John Gregory and Tom Ward go to Heysham in order to speak to the ghost of Nays, and they have a very good description. Based on that description, I believe that it is St. Patrick's Chapel, also known as Heysham Head. Welcome to St. Peter's Church. This is where we start. Now this is on the way up to Heysham Head, which is where I believe that the section of the book from the Spooks Curse is taking place. Now, this is a very good piece of evidence to prove this, because this is right before Heysham Head. Now in the book it explains that they go up a narrow track, which is where I'm currently stood, and they pass a church with a graveyard. As you can see, this is a church and it has a graveyard. To be specific, this is St. Peter's Church. So as the book says, there's a church and graveyard on the right. Then they go up a narrow path. One other particular thing of note is that this area is also called the Barrows. Now that's something which is quite often said, specifically when talking about the Bane, and how the Barrows was his favourite hiding place. By the way, I am joined for this video by my friend Ryan. Yeah. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. Now I will admit that there is no sign of a gate yet, though there was a part there where it could have had a gate in the past. So yes, it's also believable it could have been a gate here, but yeah. I think the gate is one of those ones where you can just assume it disappeared with time. I'm just going to take a moment to say how beautiful this is. Now, this is the big evidence. 6 gravestones. Can you grab hold of that, please, Ryan? 6 gravestones. They're significantly smaller than normal figures, which pretty much coincides with the Sengati. That's why they were called Little People. Quite good to see the respect that people have still put on their gravestones here. And there would be the small chapel. The small chapel with 3 walls remaining. This is just an in-shot of the inside of the chapel. One interesting thing is that it is very small. I honestly have no idea what this... And my friend Ryan has just pointed out something very good. Because as a significant part of the book, they found the 6, then they had to go to hedges. And under those hedges were 2 more graves. The other beautiful part of this, to coincide that this is where it's based on and where the entire story comes from, is that one is significantly bigger than the other. bearing in mind that we know that the story was about King Hayes and his youngest son, it's very plausible that the size in these was a part of Delaney's inspiration. So overall, in my eyes, there is no doubt that the area mentioned in the book, the chapel they go to, is based here. And here we have the information about it. St. Patrick's Chapel. That's what I said on my previously that I thought it was. The ruins of a chapel and rock-cut graves form one of the oldest surprising Christian monuments in northwest England, dating from the 8th century. This is something which I didn't quite realise, and pretty much proves that Joseph Delaney took inspiration from this. Excavations by the University of Lancaster took place here in 1977 and 1978. Now, there is one thing important to note with this fact. Joseph Delaney attended Lancaster University. Furthermore is the fact that he is at the moment, I think, about 60, so that makes it about the right time. I will be looking up, and I will probably add some sort of annotations or notes or something to establish whether or not he was at Lancaster University during 1977 and 1978. Because if he was, then that's where he got this from. To be honest, when looking at this, other than the fact that I can absolutely prove without a shadow of a doubt that this is where Joseph Delaney based it on, there doesn't seem to be any mention of King Hayes or the Bane or any other link to the books. However, I do think that it is absolutely beautiful how well this fits in. I mean, like I say, there's even the fact that one of the graves is significantly bigger than the others for the adult King Hayes. And I just want to once again get another beautiful shot. I mean, that is beauty. I think the book really does it justice, displaying the beauty in words, but sometimes words just don't do it. The information at Heysham Head said that there had been a dig that had some exhibits in Lancaster Museum. So I went to Lancaster Museum just to check it out, and to be completely honest, there wasn't that much. On screen at the minute is some broken parts of rock, which apparently if you arrange it in the right way, it says woman, but they can't be sure that that's what it's meant to say. Then there is also a stone birdie thing that they believe came from a throne, indicating that there was some sort of throne at the chapel. Now, the interesting part is that that's it. Dead end. Nothing else left. There is no evidence of anything like King Hayes, yet up to this point, there is so much proving it. I mean, there is the fact that there is the graves separated, where there's 6 graves and then there's the small and the big one. The fact that that one's the biggest one, the fact that they've got such a perfect description, the fact that there was a throne, everything like that. Overall, Joseph Delaney has managed to fill the hole perfectly. It's even got to that point where I spent extra hours researching it, trying to find something that I'd missed. Because this is fantastic the way it fits. Like I say, all the little tiny details are there. All the major details are there. There's a massive gap in history where we don't know because nothing's been discovered about it. And if we were to apply the story of King Hayes to it, that fills those holes perfectly. It's like, perfect fit there. Which I think is absolutely fantastic. But overall, that's it. There is no real-life King Hayes. There is no real-life Sengati. It is entirely fictional, which is brilliant. So kudos to Joseph Delaney, because I genuinely believed that it was based on something real. It was a really thorough thing. And even now, like I say, I'm still convinced that I'm missing something. That something obvious is going. So, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed getting to see Heysham Head in all its glory. And if you liked, please leave a comment and a like below. Subscribe, and I will be doing this at least a couple more times. I will be looking into... Next time, I'm not 1000% sure what I'll be researching, but I am interested in Golgoth and the Round Loaf on Anglesark more, so I may well be doing that. Thank you very much, and if you want to see that as well as any other theories, I'll be doing theories on Spooks and many other book series, then feel free to subscribe to get them as soon as they come out. Next time I'm not